This is Andy Perov, Boxing Social, and I'm delighted to be joined by Matchroom Boxing CEO Frank Smith. Frank, a successful night at the office. Anthony Joshua reclaims his unified world heavyweight titles with a unanimous decision victory over Andy Ruiz Jr. Talking about the fight and Anthony's performance.
What a night. I hope this interview, last time I did an interview after an AJ fight, I said I was crying. I think I'm crying with joy this time. Unbelievable performance, masterclass. Did what he said he'd go in there and do, and it shows he's up there. He's number one in the heavyweight division, and he created history. He creates history time and time again. He breaks records. He brings the sport to new levels, and he'll continue doing it.
Talking about the fight itself and how it played out, was you surprised at all by just how well Anthony was able to box without allowing himself to maybe trade a little more, maybe fall into any traps which Andy Ruiz may have been looking to set?
He's been working on that the whole time. He's been working on what he did. He went in and he did it. He listened to what he had to do, and he delivered. And that's, he didn't put a foot wrong.
Psychologically, just how big a win will this be for Anthony as well, moving forwards, to bounce back from that defeat and knowing that he never fell for anything this time round?
Huge, stronger than ever. He's going to be stronger than ever. He came back and he beat a guy who, everyone saw what he did in the first fight to him. He went in there and he did the job on him. So I think psychologically he's going to be in a great place. He's been in a good place. He didn't, he hated losing, obviously, as anyone would, but he's back now, and he's back number one in the sport.
Just a word on Andy Ruiz Jr. Was you surprised at all by his tactics? He seemed to obviously want to close down the ring, but he just didn't seem to quite have enough in him. Wasn't quick enough to do so.
Yeah, look, he tried, but he didn't do enough. I think he said that in there. He thought he could have done more. But AJ had a perfect game plan and he stuck to it. And that's the big difference here. He stuck to his game plan. He stuck to what he said he would do.
We just spoke about the Ruiz-Joshua fight. Just moving away from that, Alexander Usyk, the WBO have ordered that fight 180 days from tonight. Thoughts on that? And obviously you've got the IBF mandatory in Kubrat Pulev.
Yeah, lots to think about. But, as Eddie said, you've got to celebrate tonight. He's gone out there, he's done the job, and let's celebrate. And then, he'll fight anyone. He's shown it. He's shown it all throughout his career. He's shown that he's willing to fight anybody, and he'll continue to do that. But tonight it's about celebrating, and then it's for us to look, over the next few days.
I know I'm possibly bringing a downer on things, but does that realistically put a potential undisputed fight, provided AJ was to come through both mandatories successfully, would he put an undisputed fight off until 2022?
Yeah, but they don't want it anyway, do they? They didn't want it before.
That's your words, Frank, not mine. Moving on, just to touch on the rest of the card. Dillian Whyte picking up a victory on his return against Vac. What was your thoughts on his win? Yeah,
look, as he was quite open, he wasn't completely happy with tonight, but he's back. He's, you saw the news come out, great news, which we all knew, and now he's back. He's back in the limelight and back up there. Now he deserves that WBC shot. What
was your thoughts and initial reaction to UCAD, the clearing of Dillian of any wrongdoing?
I was always sure, but we couldn't talk about anything. We had to be, as Dillian said as well, we had to be very. He couldn't say much. So we knew the way it was going, but he's the fans. Everyone's an expert, aren't they? Everyone speaks too early.
Any idea as to why it took so long for it to officially be announced?
These things take time. They're complex. There's a lot of people involved. There's a lot of conversations involved, and but they take time. But again, it's the same thing. People jump to conclusions before they know any of the details.
Obviously, Michael Hunter, Alexander Povetkin fighting to split decision draw. What's your thoughts on their fight, Frank?
I actually just texted Michael Hunter's team. I didn't watch the fight. I was running around, so I can't give a comment on whether I thought it was the right decision. But yeah, I'll have to watch that back.
They've both said that they'd like to face each other again. Would that be something you'd be interested in trying to put on one of the shows in future? Yeah,
possibly. They're two top heavyweights. They're two top heavyweights challenging, and they're up there within the big names for the fights down the road. So, that's definitely something we could look at doing.
Frank, I know you're a busy man, so I'll let you crack on now. Thank you for your time. Thanks for being myself, Boxing.
Thanks for your support. Thanks for coming out to Saudi.
Cheers, Frank.